start off by thanking you guys for coming out. I love doing this. I love speaking. You know, I take it very seriously, and I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy schedules to come out and support. It means a lot. Now, I'm kind of curious, before I get started, how many of you have ever been to what someone has called a motivational speech? I'll just show a hand. A couple of you, some of you, which is good. The reason I ask is the majority of people that come to my talks and presentations have absolutely no idea what they're getting themselves into, which is totally okay, right? So before I get started, I kind of want to describe what I think a motivational speech should be. You know, what we all should get from this to kind of put everybody on the same page, okay? Now, I was giving a presentation this past weekend at the Appalachian Leadership Forum. Awesome event, a bunch of really good speakers and presenters. I was really fortunate to have an opportunity to be a part of that. Now, one of the things I talked about was motivation. And I got a lot of positive feedback about how I connected that to the audience, how people really understand where I was coming from, which is awesome. So I kind of want to bring that back a little bit and talk about how I discussed that and how I really try to get people to convey that message. So I want you guys to think about a time in your life that you felt really inspired. A moment in your life that left you really amazed, something that you relive, you rethink about over and over again. Now, it can be anything. A person, a place, a series of events, it doesn't matter. Just a moment in your life where you felt positive, where you felt impacted, something huge, right? Take a second. Think about it. Everybody got roughly something? Something to think about? If you don't, keep thinking. If you do, remember that. All right, I'm going to come back to that. Now, there are many different moments in my life where I felt inspired, I felt impacted, right? And many of them happened when I spent time with my brother and sister. Now, I'm a family man. Love my family, I talk about them a lot. It's important to me. And always keeping them in the back of my mind is something that really helps push me, really helps get me going, right? And one particular time that I always remember is the time that I spent with my little brother, all right? Now, this particular moment happened my brother's junior year of high school. So last year, all right? Now, this moment was huge for my brother and my family because this year was the first year he won a cross-country state championship, which is awesome. Right? Really hard worker, tough kid, did everything right, put in the extra effort to get ahead, and he succeeded. Fantastic moment, really proud of him. I love that kid to death. Now, it's what he said to me after he won that really connected with me. And really, it's something that blew my mind wide open. It really put things in perspective about why I do the things I do. Now, unfortunately, I was stuck up here in Boone, so I wasn't able to go down and watch him compete. But he hits me up right after. He goes, man, tells me the good news. I say, that's awesome, congrats, you're a stud, I love you, you deserve it, right? And what he told me after that, I'll never forget. He goes, yeah, man, I appreciate it, thanks. It's awesome. I won it my junior year, just like you did. I get a little emotional thinking about that. I'm not going to be out. I mean, I was so honored and blessed that in that very moment in his life, a moment that was all about him. That was his time to shine. It was his second to take all the credit. I was so honored that in that one moment, I was one of the things that crossed his mind. At that very second, it really put things in a perspective about why I do the things I do. Like, I couldn't believe it. To this day, I mean, I get goosebumps. I have goosebumps right now talking about it. Like, it's just it's that one thing that we relive over and over again. That one thing, that memory, that moment in our lives, the one I had you think about before. That is what I define motivation. It is that one piece of us that propels us forward, that one thing that puts us in motion, that fuel to our fire, so to speak. Right now, it's different for everyone. We are all inspired and moved and amazed by different things, and that's totally okay. That's what makes us unique. But it's those great moments, those moments that we really can't define unless we really go back and think about them. Those moments that make us who we are, that push us to do great things. Now, I can't speak for other motivational speakers, all right, or other speakers in general, but this is how I see and view what I call motivation. Now, I know I call my talks and presentations motivational speeches, but I do a lot more than just motivate and talk about motivation. Okay? When I come and give a talk or presentation, it is my goal to do three things. Give you the tools that you need to achieve all of your goals, whatever they may be, is to make you open your eyes and see things in a different light, in a different way, for you to really practice critical thinking, and to make an impact so great that you find the sparks that you need right here today. You find that moment inside of you, that moment at this present time that you think about, that you relive over and over again. I want to stand for something so great and so big that I can help you in any way that I can. And the way that I want to do that is you think about this moment. Every word that I say, every awkward hand gesture that I make, this is important. And it's for those of you that are open to this, I dare you to open up your eyes, your ears, your minds, and your hearts, and really be open to real life changing right now. The first step is being open to it. The first step is realizing that this might be that time. This might be an eye-opening experience. It's only if we take it. People pass up great opportunities all the time. Opportunities that are right in front of their face. Now, they do this for many different reasons. A big one that I'm going to talk about today is their fear. Okay? Now, what is fear? I want you to think about what you would say if I asked you to describe fear to a young boy or girl. I want you to put it into words what fear is. Think about it. Anything at all, how you would express that. I find a lot of people have a difficult time doing that. Right? Many people don't know what fear is other than the horrible feeling that it's associated with. You know? I mean, that's normal. When we're afraid, we don't sit down and really think deeply about what fear is. We're just concerned about getting that horrible feeling to go away. We don't want to be there, right? To understand what fear is, we need to relive those horrible moments in our minds, those moments where fear has really overwhelmed us, it's really taken hold on what we're doing. It's taken us astray and made us focus on not our goals and tasks that we should be focusing on, but leads us to focus on things that in reality might not even exist. You see, that's what fear does. It makes us worry, concern, stress, have a disbelief that our goals are in danger of not being accomplished. That's what it does. It is taking us to a place that decides our outcome. It is taking us to a place that we don't want to be. A place that makes failure a reality. Okay? Now we need to start thinking back and say, where does it say that we are going to fail? Now, fear brings those outcomes, those things that have no evidence of ever being coming to light. Right? Now think about it. I'm going to explain. You are going to take a test. Right? Now, you're ready for this test. You've studied, you've met with the teacher, you even met with the smart kid next to you in class and read his notes. Like, you're ready to go 100%. All the evidence is saying that you are going to succeed. But even with all that evidence, even the odds being in your favor, you still have a fear. A fear that you're going to fail. Why? Where does that come from? Everything is on your side, right? You're ready, you put in the time, the preparation, you're good to go. But you still sit and dwindle in that fear. Why? Where does that come from? You are an athlete. Not only an athlete, you are a phenomenal athlete. You put in the extra time in the gym, court, track, field, whatever your case may be, right? Not only that, you have the best coaches, you have the best teammates, you do that extra stuff, you know, the times where you sit down and really get your mind right. You pick the right path to go on, right? Your friends are going out, your boys are going out, they're going to drink, do that kind of thing. But you stay in. You want to put yourself in the best environment to succeed. Awesome. You're ready to go. All the odds are in your favor. All the evidence shows that you are going to succeed. But even with that, some people still sit and think of the outcomes that have no evidence of being coming to light, right? There's nothing that says that person's going to fail, so why do we dwell on that? They're losing the match, they're losing the game before they even started. Why? Where does it come from? And it's something that we need to realize, and we need to stop it. We need to stop it right then and there. All right? Fear is everywhere. Fear is common. It is common for me, it is common for you, and every experience is different, but equally as difficult to overcome. All right? Now, in this battle, in this fight, we need to think of fear a little bit differently. Now, in my life, I've experienced all kinds of different fear. All right? I have a big fear of not becoming the speaker that I set out to be, right? I fear that I'm not going to give people the tools that they need to achieve their goals. I fear that I'm not going to open people's eyes to see things in a different light. I fear that I'm not going to be the spark that I set out to be. This is huge, and it's something that I always feel. It's always creeping up on me, always coming and knocking me down. So I had to think about it, and I had to decide how I'm going to fight this, how I'm going to beat this fear. So I thought, and it came to me. Everything I did to fight the fear never worked. I was trying to block it, I tried to forget about it, but it never worked. It always kept coming back. So instead of fighting it so much, I looked for a way to coexist. I looked for a way that I could live with it and use it, right? Now, I'm a huge fan of the documentary Birdman. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's on Netflix. I'm a big Netflix guy. If you have an account, check it out. But basically what it is, it's a group of people that take skydiving and base jumping to a whole new level. It is crazy, right? So what they do is they have these wingsuits or whatever, and they have, like, they're attached from their hands to their sides and attach their feet together, and they give them pretty much wings. And they take a normal skydive or base jump into miles of flight. Like, they are flying not only far, but very, very fast. And to take that even up a notch, some of these people are so crazy that they fly in between mountains and like feet from the ground. They are feet from death, literally going very fast, straight down. That's unbelievable. And in this documentary, they were asking these people, how are you not absolutely terrified? Like, how do you not, just a moment in your life where you felt positive, where you felt impacted, something huge, right? Take a second. One of the people said was really refreshing. In a way that was really beautiful, because he found a way to use fear, something that people view as a monster, right? Something that people view as a block, as a barrier that stopped them from achieving their goals. And he turned it around, and he used it. And he said, there's no secret. I'm absolutely terrified every single time I make a jump. Every time. I'm afraid. Anything can go wrong. I'm terrified. But he said I wouldn't have it any other way. And people ask, that makes absolutely no sense. Why do you want to feel fear? Why do you want to be afraid every time you jump? And what he said was really refreshing. And he said, it's that fear that lets me know I'm alive. And he said, if I stopped feeling that fear, then I should find something else to do with my time. Mind blowing at that moment. He found a way to view something as fear and use it, right? That's awesome. Now we need to do the same thing. Instead of finding ways to fight it, we need to find ways to use it. We need to go about the right way and stop this chain reaction, because that's what fear does, right? First, the stress comes. Then the worries about outcomes that we can't control. And then the self-doubt comes. And when we start doubting ourselves because of that fear, then we are making it very difficult to achieve anything. So I kept thinking, trying to find the way I can use it. And then it hit the big puzzle piece that I forgot about. Okay? The one thing that conflicts with fear, the one thing that can help me beat it, overcome it, use it, and that's the belief that I have in myself. You see, self-confidence is one of the biggest tools that we have in our arsenal, right? It's something that we can always use. I've always been a big advocate of myself. I've always been very, very confident. Now, that has come across as cocky, all right? I know some of my friends over here are not there, that's absolutely. But it's something that I've always believed, and it's something that I still believe to this day. And it's one of those things that I tell myself, I have worked way too long and way too hard to fail. I put in the extra time. I've stayed up way later than everyone else. I've gotten up way earlier than everybody else. I've bettered myself in that time. I've done everything I possibly could to succeed, so I don't deserve to fail, even though we all fail many times in our lives. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to let the fear of failure take a hold of me. Right? And I always remembered that. I always used that. And my family, I'm very fortunate to have the family that I do. And they use the same thing in their own aspects. My brother uses it in athletics. My mother uses it in her line of work. My father uses it in his line of work. We believe that we can do anything. And it's not just a statement. That's not something I go around saying and I half mean it. I am fully invested in my belief in myself. I know I will do anything only because I will never stop until I get there. And I really, if you only take one thing away from today, I want you to take away that idea, that principle, that belief, that we can do anything. It is important. I talk about it in every single presentation, every talk, no matter the topic, because if anything else, that is the one message that I want to convey, the one message that I want you to take from this, okay? It is important. And if we lose this, if we lose that self-confidence, then we are losing everything before we get started. We are letting fear win a battle that it has no right to. That's where this whole saying, or this phrase that I've always heard, bravery at its finest, I always repeat it, I always use it, and that's the name of this speech. love what that phrase brings. I love the message that it comes across. You see, bravery means that we recognize the fear. To be brave, we need fear to overcome, to fight, to use, right? And this phrase I've always used growing up, and my brother has used growing up, and it says that I know it's there, I know it, I feel it creeping down my spine. It's like the hairs on the back of my neck are stepping up, and fear is coming to reach and pull me back. I know it's there, but I will not let it get me, right? Now fear, I'm going to use some personal examples so we can kind of convey this message even more. But I want to talk about the odds that are against me right now. I'm a 20-year-old college student, and in this time, it's hard enough, right? People are having a hard time finding jobs. Doesn't matter if you got your undergrad, your master's. It's a difficult time, right? On top of that, I took a huge risk and started a company at 20 years old as a college student. People are still making fun of me to this day, right? And then on top of that, I'm trying to make a name and a career for myself as a speaker, as a public speaker, as a motivational speaker, with no help. I don't have a speech coach or a life coach, someone holding my hand, walking me through this. This is all on me, and I know that. I feel fear every single day. I feel that I'm going to fail in front of everybody, right? It doesn't matter how many speeches I give, I still get nervous. I still have that fear that I'm going to come up here and forget everything that I was going to say. Honestly, there have been times when I literally blacked out and didn't know and had to look around and hope for a note card to be somewhere left around, right? Their fear is always there no matter how high we go, no matter what level that we get to, okay? And we need to find those fears. I know those are my fears. I know I'm afraid of that. I know I'm afraid of failing. But it's with that fear comes my ability to overcome it, right? It's like a reminder. I know it's there, so I'm not going to let it get me, okay? It's when we stop feeling the fear, it's when we stop realizing the negative side of everything we're doing, that's when we need to find something else to do, right? We've lost the passion in it. If we didn't care, if I came up here and bombed, and didn't say a word and totally forgot, then I'm in the wrong profession, right? I'm in the wrong field of work. It is that fear that makes us realize that we do have a passion for this, that I do care about my speeches and about my work and about my company and everything else. The odds are always going to be in your favor. Always. There's going to be someone that doesn't believe in you, that doubt the statistics, whatever the case may be. But that belief that we have in ourselves, that feeling that I can do this, I know I can, it stems all the way down to my core. It's something I believe to the day I died. That belief will overcome any fear, any doubt, any obstacle that is in our path. There are great people in this world. Okay? And all these great people, doesn't matter where they come from, how old they are, their culture, their ethnicities, their genders, their walks of life. All these people have one thing in common. They overcame a test. Now these tests are different for everyone, right? We all have different struggles, fears, things that inspire us. We're all unique, and that's awesome. But even though we are all different, all our struggles are equally as difficult. Okay, they're personal. They mean something to us. And fear is a big one for most people. And we need to learn, if we want to become these great people, we need to learn how to fight that. And there is no reason why every single person in this room cannot become one of those great people. I don't care if we're a college student or a professor. It doesn't matter. We all have room to grow. We all have room to better ourselves. But we need to find the fear. Because the fear is the one thing that will push us back. That fear is the one thing that will stop us in our tracks. That is why I keep repeating. Say, and that's why I wanted the name of this speech to be Bravery at its finest. I want to give you guys the tools that we need to achieve our greatness. Now, greatness is another thing I talk about in all of my speeches. It's something that I really want to keep stressing, right? Greatness is that part of us that believes that I will keep going until I cannot go anymore. That is my definition of greatness. It is giving 120% every step of the way. It's huge. It's where we will not stop. I would rather die than give up right now. That is something that is not very common anymore. I don't know that many people who are that passionate about something. But it's the people that I do know, the people that I really look up to, that inspire me. Those people, and all they have is that belief that will achieve greatness, their own definition of it. But it's only because they believe in themselves. They realize that fear is not something that is going to stop them. They're going to push through everything. So even though the doubt, even though I have the fear of failing as a speaker, as a business owner, as a symbol, as the symbol that I want to stand for, I'm going to keep going. And I am never going to stop because of that belief, because I know that that fear will not take a hold of me. Last thing I want to leave you guys with is the reasons why this is so passionate to me. And I'm going to end all my speeches and all my presentations the same way because I really want to convey why. I believe this because I have what I call a controlled obsession. Now, controlled obsession, both words being very, very important, right? Now, great people in this world have this controlled obsession. They are completely fixed on the idea that they are going to keep going, that they are going to never stop, they're going to consume their life around their goal. Everyone sees Michael Jordan make his famous dunks, win his championship games, but no one saw the time and effort he put in after that, or before that. You know, the times in the gym, the things he sacrificed. No one sees that work ethic, they only see the end result. He was obsessed with achieving his goals, and that's what he did, and that's what he became the man he is today. Now, controlled being a very important word as well, okay? He still had time to separate it. You know, he separated his free time, his joys from his work. With that being said, he put in a work ethic like no other. And that is what I have. That is something that stems all the way down to my core. It is the framework of my being. It is something that I am passionate about. And it is my goal, like I've stated many, many times, to be the spark that you need to light the fire inside of you. I want one word, one phrase, this whole time up here, something that I do right now, I want it to inspire you. And that is my goal, and I am obsessed with achieving that goal. And that is what I stress you guys to find. Find that one thing that you will fight for until the day you die. Something that you are so passionate about that you will never stop until you get there. It is different for all, but equally as important. So when fear starts to come and fear starts to overwhelm you and you start to get to those points in your life when you don't know what to do, when worries and concerns and everything else starts overcoming you, you need to sit down, close your eyes, and remember. Remember the things that we talked about at the very beginning. Those moments that inspired us, those moments that put things into perspective. Mine is my family. What is yours? What is your reason for doing what you do? Your reason for exploring your passion? Find it. When you find it and use that self-confidence and that belief that you can do anything, then fear is the least of your worries. I believe in each and every one of you. I really, really do. The people that are watching this video, the people that are in this room, I want to stress this because even though I can't see my audience, I believe in you. I know you can do it. I have this faith in every single person. I know there's a part of you that can overcome any obstacle you set out to do. I believe it. And guys, I'm not even exaggerating when I say I'm obsessed with it. I love it. And I want to make sure that all of you realize it. Even if it's for a second, even if the only time that you realize this is in this very room. I want to keep you in this room for as long as I can then. Okay? I believe that each and every one of you have your own path, your own great path. But when the great opportunity that presents itself in front of you, you need to take it. Don't pass that up. It's those moments that define who we are, define the people that we are going to be. I know all the way down to my core, you guys can do this. Become bravery at its finest. Become that symbol, become that thing. Whatever you want to stand for. And I promise I will always have your back. Your loved ones, those moments that sit inside your mind, they will always be there. That self-confidence, that self-belief is all you need for your world to change right now. That's the key. Will you take it? I hope you guys are inspired. I hope you guys have found something, anything at all, that sparked you, that has reprogrammed you, that has helped give you that mindset, the tools that you need. Think about it. I think you'll be surprised what we can find. Once again, my name is Alex Morales. Thank you guys for coming.